Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today. I'm Taylor St. Germain, an economist here at ITR Economics, and we at ITR are your apolitical and unbiased source of economic intelligence. I'm joined by a few of my colleagues here today, where we'll be discussing our March 2025 Crowe ITR Economics Summit. We'll be discussing a host of topics, and we wanted to share a little bit of information with you today about what we'll be discussing in March. And so, Lauren, you'll be leading us off. I figured we'd start with you. Give us a little insight on what you'll be talking about as we get closer to March.
I drew the lucky straw, I guess. I'm not sure if it's the short one or the long one, but I get to discuss policy, not politics. So we have had so much uncertainty headed into the election. Now with the new Trump administration coming in, we really want to tackle what does this mean for businesses? Not on a political front, as you mentioned, we are nonpartisan, apolitical, but really what do the implications of these policies mean? So things like tariffs, things like mass deportations, tax changes to the tax code. We're really going to be digging in. Hopefully by March, we have a little bit more visibility into, say, the exact way tariffs will be implemented or the exact policy that will be put in place. We're starting to get some executive orders trickle in and starting to get new insight. So we will be digging into the analysis with the rest of our team.
Lauren, I think this is such a great topic for you to be going down. We already know major corporations are setting up war rooms to deal with all the changes that are happening very rapidly. And we may not know all the answers, as you said, but we'll know some of the alternatives. We'll know some things to try, to think about. And certainly from our experience, we'll know how this is going to be different in different industries. So I am psyched to hear what you're going to be talking about.
I'm excited to dig into some strategies. I think that's going to be the really fun part. And we have some partners at Crowe who are going to be going a little bit deeper into things like tax implications or efficiencies that we can get into. But from there, we're kicking it back over to you, Taylor, to go into the supply chain ramifications.
Yes, myself and some of our colleagues at Crowe will be discussing the supply chain in March. And there's a lot of geopolitical changes and events that have happened around the world. And with the increasing protectionism that we're seeing, it's important that we reevaluate the supply chain. And now all of us at ITR see consecutive years of economic growth as we look at this second half of the decade. So it's going to be very important that we are positioning ourselves well from a supply chain standpoint to be taking advantage of that growth. 2024 was a little bit of a weaker year for a lot of our industrial and manufacturing clients, but very quickly the conversation is going to change from where's the growth to how do we keep up with this growth, and that supply chain and being positioned well in the global supply chain is going to be very important as we move forward.
Taylor, I'm really looking forward to your supply chain conversation as well from our Crowe partners. One of the questions I'm constantly getting is how is Mexico going to play into this? And what do we do with all the outsourcing we've done to Mexico or the onshoring China's done to Mexico? And Canada, we need that Canadian oil. We need other lumber from Canada. This is all going to have a significant impact on multiple industries. And having you and the team at Crowe tear this apart and lay it out for us is it's going to be key to a successful 2025 and 26.
North America, from our perspective, has been our best bet moving forward, but the executive orders related to tariffs on Mexico and Canada are going to be important trends for us to unpack. So it's going to be really important that we dissect these executive orders and any potential legislation that could be coming down the line as it relates to the importance of these trade partners for us here in the U.S. And Brian, I know the favorite topic of all of our ITR followers and clients is always the 2030s. And it's my understanding you'll be discussing some of the ramifications of the supply chain executive orders, legislation, what this all means for the 2030s and how it impacts our outlook.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm going to do some of that to be sure, but we're taking a more global perspective beyond the supply chain. Which countries are really going to get hurt more than the U.S., less than the U.S.? Where might there be some safe havens? And they're hard to come by. They really are, because any country that's going to be a safe haven has a very small economy just associated with the United States. So, but the relative magnitude is going to be important because we While we are moving toward nationalism, this is still a global infrastructure of companies that we're talking about, and the changes are going to matter. And positioning yourself the right way is going to speed coming out of that downturn and set you up for a great position in the 2040s.
I hope everyone's looking forward to March 20th and joining us for this summit. There's more information to come. Follow ITR on all of our social media pages. Head to our website for more information, and we're really looking forward to chatting with you all on March 20th. Thanks so much for joining us here today. We really appreciate it.